What's up, y'all? What's poppin'?
NANI?
You clicked on this video because you're interested in controversy. You are a controversial person. If you don't want to admit it, you just did it. We don't understand what we're doing until we do it. What the fuck? Anyway, today we're talking about the most controversial characters in One Piece. And you probably have some characters in mind. And this may be a very controversial video with controversial opinions because it is the most controversial characters in One Piece. And you know, One Piece, because it's so popular, it's always lathered with controversy. Now, the most controversial characters in One Piece. Now, okay, I gotta preface this video by saying, because this person was in my top 5. Then I moved it because this person probably is controversial and you don't understand why he's controversial. This person is... Wait, you want that person, don't you? Let's do this. I'm gonna continue with the video and I'll let you know at some point in the video who this person is. If you're surprised by who this person is, you gotta sub to the channel. If you didn't expect it at all, this person, because you probably don't expect it, but once I break down this person and why it's controversial, you're probably gonna be like, I understand. Now, let's get to number 5 on the list. Yeah, oh, it's 5 characters. And if you agree you're a controversial character, you should probably sub because we here. Number 5, where are we? Okay, we have Eustace Captain Mid. Useless Captain Kid. No, that's not his name. Eustace Captain Kid. That's his name, Eustace Captain Kid. All right, for the Kid fans, I'm not sorry. Okay, I apologize. I'm a Kid supporter. Okay, I think Kid can be a character that we can love and we can enjoy, but so far, a myriad of controversy around him. You like that? You like that? Myriad. The reason why Kid is such a controversial character is because Kid is considerably mid. To some people, not to me. So what do you think about Kid for real? Mid. The reason why is Kid had high expectations coming off of Sabaody, right? The auction house trio, you know, for most of the story with Law being involved, I was like, well, I think Law is very impressive, right? I thought he was great, but I just didn't think he was stronger than Kid. I just expected Kid to be a powerhouse, right? He went into the new world, lost an arm. We know how strong characters with one arms are. I mean, at least one of them became a Yonko after losing his arm. So I was like, well, he lost his arm, so he must be stronger or something like that. So now coming into Wano, high expectations. For my personal expectations, and a lot of people, Kid has not lived up to them. But there's a faction of growing Kid fans because, like I mentioned before, if you have a lot of people that hate on a character, man, if somebody logs on and they create a fan club, like, yo, a lot of people hate this character, we gotta rise up against them. With Zoro, a lot of people love Zoro now, a lot of people kind of hate Zoro because of the people that love Zoro. It's a weird dynamic how the internet works, right? It's like you love them too much, hate them a little bit. Huh? So for Kid, it's the same thing. People feel like Kid has been doing fine and he doesn't deserve the hate. And to be honest, maybe it's a bit too far, but yo, we all remember when Kid was on the rooftop. He was choke slamming and he was doing the Rikishi on Kaido, and I was like, yo, I don't think that's working, right? And he just kept doing it. And then Killer came with the speed of sound Sonic. No, that's not what he did. I've been watching too much One Punch Man. Garo is a fucking beast, by the way. Okay, this is a One Piece video. Killer used that Sonic attack and it was like, what? Kaido felt that. Kid, Kaido felt that. Kid. So based on that, people said Killer was more impressive than Kid. And then there it was. Kid faction were on their knees for different reasons because Kid was not living up to the hype. So far, I would say Kid has been fine. He has not been terrible. He's been fine. He's been super durable. Stamina is crazy. He's fighting Big Mom with Law, which, you know, Luffy's fighting Kaido by himself. So like, not really measuring up. But because of that, Kid is one of the more controversial characters in One Piece, at least right now. In the past, there've been more controversial characters, but we're not talking about them old motherfuckers right now. We're talking about right now the most controversial characters. Kid is number 5. I'm not gonna spend as much time on the other characters. I'm like, yo, I spent a lot of time on Kid. This is the most time I've ever spent on Kid in my life. I'm joking. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna take any more shots at Kid fans because I do like you guys, most of you. Okay, anyway, number 4. This is a weird one because this is one of my favorite characters of all time and the other guy, Ace and Sabo. Okay, the reason why I combine these guys is because these guys are probably, you know, just tethered at the hip. I mean, one guy was kind of created to supplement the loss of the other guy, Sabo, and I didn't like that as much. And a lot of people did not like that. They felt like Oda made this courageous plunge to kill Ace, and then he just brought him back with a different name and eyes, and now he's blonde. Here's the thing. Ace and Sabo, controversial for so many reasons. Ace, very controversial character based on how he died. People feel like, well, you shouldn't have went back. Some people are like, well, that's his character. Some people are like, well, Akainu's the GOAT. Okay, I'm saying that. I said that Akainu mine is the GOAT part. I didn't hear anybody else throwing that in there, but people do feel like Ace as a character is controversial. Some people do say, I didn't really have any attachment to Ace. Some people are like, well, how can you not love Ace? That's Luffy's brother. You know, I think I didn't have an attachment initially when I was reading the story and going through it. I was kind of like, he's a dumbass, but he's brave. But he's a brave dumbass. Then as I went through the story and getting more excerpts outside the story about Ace and how he lived, how he tried to live his life, I was like, I can relate to that. I like him. And so that was part of Ace's controversy. Now, Ace's strength is somewhat of a controversy as well, because some people feel like he got demolished, low-diffed by Blackbeard. Some people feel like, hold on, he fought admirably against someone like Blackbeard, knowing the power that Blackbeard has. Even Blackbeard commented on how strong Ace was and some of his subordinates, right? So it's not as bad as people say, but some people on opposite sides. That's why Ace is such a controversial character. Now, Sabo didn't like him at all initially upon the introduction. As heartfelt and heartwarming it was with Luffy finally getting a brother back after losing it, it was like, okay, Oda, you took Ace away, now you bring Sabo back. It's like, it feels kind of cheap, but Sabo, he serves a purpose. He's a revolutionary now. We needed someone prominent from Dragon's crew after Kuma became a doll or just a slave car. And Ivankov, not sure what Ivankov's about at this point, but it felt necessary. And so he's here. But those are the controversies around those characters. And it's like, it's quieted down because people have, you know, come to terms with Sabo being here. But man, when Sabo was introduced, it was not well received that much at all. That's why Ace is still a more popular character than Sabo today, even though he's dead. Ace, I miss you. Number 3, we have, I think would be number 1 if this was last year, Yamato, okay? Because she, I almost said he. I did, and that wasn't on purpose. I promise it wasn't. It was. That was the controversy. People did not know whether to address Yamato as he or she, and that was because of how Yamato was introduced. So to make a long story less long, Yamato introduces Kaido's son. Well, Kaido's like, oh, where's my son? We're looking for this cool looking stud guy. And upon looking for this cool stud guy, we stumble into this beautiful damsel in distress. Well, not damsel in distress. We stumble into this beautiful woman with some double D's. I was like, wait, that's a boy? Well, not really a boy. She identifies as Odin, who is a man. But she only identified as Odin because she looked up to him and admired him. And so she wanted to be Odin. So therefore she wanted to be addressed as Odin. The funniest part, and this was mentioned by my guy Seto, he said, well, I don't understand the controversy around Yamato because people are saying, is it he? Is it she? And no one is addressing Yamato by what she wanted to be addressed as. Odin. She wanted to be called Odin. And we're arguing about calling her he or she. That's not what Yamato wanted. Now, the reason why the controversy died down a lot, but trust me, I feel like every content creator talked about this at some point because they're like, yo, some people are like, yo, call Yamato by her correct pronoun. Some people are like, yo, shut the fuck up. Yamato's a woman. Do you see those chimichangas? Some people are like, well, I don't care, but if I had the opportunity to, I probably would. Doesn't matter the pronouns. So it got weird. It really got weird, but things kind of died down a lot because in the Vivre card, it basically addressed Yamato as she. So then the people that were addressing her by he, they were like, well, I'm not sure if that confirms anything. Yamato is a she, confirmed to the Vivre cards. She just wants to be Odin. She would not want to be a male otherwise if Odin wasn't Odin. It's like a weird thing. The crazy part is off of that, people started going at Oda saying, how could you be so weak? How could you not? Bro, we have so many other characters. Morley is a character confirmed to be she, right? That's how Morley identifies. So Oda is not against the LGBTQIA community, but that character is not what it is. That character is not meant for that. The funny shit I saw was when somebody was like, we don't want Morley ugly ass. Get them the fuck out of here. It's like, oh, okay, that's what this is about. Morley is too ugly to be a part of what you support, huh? Okay, anyway, let's move on to the next character. Okay, I promise you guys, okay? You think I forgot. The character that I'm gonna talk about that was mired in controversy is none other than our GOAT. Did I forget his name? Edward Newgate, right? His name, right? He's been dead for so long. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. That's not, I didn't forget his name. Google. Oh, we're still recording? Fuck! So Whitebeard. Whitebeard is one of the more controversial characters. Some people might forget what transpired when we found out what Whitebeard did in regards to Odin, in regards to Ace, Thatch, Blackbeard. People were split on that. And so it deserves its own video. Did you expect that? You probably did not, huh? So you made it this far. You're a controversial guy or gal or it. So subscribe to the channel. Look down. Maybe you haven't subscribed. Now is the time. You kind of like how I'm doing my thing, right? Fuck with me. All right, anyway. Number 2, we got our boy Sanji. Okay, Sanji's always been controversial, and part of that is because of his rivalry somewhat with Zoro, but also because of his gag. Okay, I've talked to so many people about Sanji, men and women, and a lot of women are like, well, Sanji makes me a bit uncomfortable as a woman because, you know, we're in a different era today where things are a bit more sensitive, and people use cartoons sometimes and say, well, this cartoon, this anime, they're not representative of how the world is, and it's not being, you know, progressive, etc., etc. I kind of stay out of those conversations because I'm just like, bro, I watch this to kind of escape this, so I don't want to have these conversations here. But it's a conversation that comes up all the time about Sanji being a sexual predator and how he makes women uncomfortable, you know, how he does things where it's just like predatory and he does perverted things, and post time skip his perversion took over his character. So some people are like, well, you know, that's just Sanji being a gentleman, and it's like, well, that's contradictory to what a gentleman should be. So that's always the conversation around Sanji as a character. So people, it gets really toxic when people talk about Sanji. So therefore, he's one of the more controversial characters, and that's just about that specific thing. Sanji and his portrayal in regards to strength in comparison to the others, that leads to even more controversy. So I gotta say, I don't think he should be as controversial as he is. I think he's a great character, easily the best written Straw Hat, but a lot of the things surrounding him makes it so, and so therefore he's the number 2. Okay, so now you're wondering who's number 1. Who the hell could be number 1 over Sanji and Yamato? Well, I have a surprise for you. It is your favorite mom, the biggest of all. Big Mom, okay? The reason why Big Mom is such a controversial character is because she's such a powerhouse and she's so strong. And also, she's a buffoon and a idiot. Big Mom is entrenched in the top 10 in regards to overall strength, but more often than not, she will do some boneheaded things which will make you just lose your mind as to how she could ascend to the top of the food chain like she has. And you start to question yourself, like, do I want her in the story anymore? But that's not the only controversy around Big Mom. Big Mom in Whole Cake Island, people hated her because they felt like it dragged on for too long. Her chasing the Straw Hats, her eating the cake, her letting everyone escape her territory. I mean, at this point, I was like, I don't know, you know, at least she got Germa. No, Germa's escaping as well. Jinbei escaped, and they had a party after. Like, yo, we escaped Big Mom's territory. She ain't shit. Crazy, right? All that with Big Mom. So therefore, Big Mom has become a controversial character because of that. But then in Wano, right? Because she made it to Wano somewhat. And let's not even start with her crew. She made it to Wano, and now Big Mom, we had mothering mode, then we had the amnesia, then we had her basically getting mollywopped by Frankie and his motorcycle. And we're like, wait, why does this consistently happen to Big Mom? Why do we look at her and we're like, okay, we see an amazing monster that should dominate anyone that's in front of her, but then she's getting stalemated by Brooke. Maybe that's a bit exaggeration, but right? And it's just like, she's top 5. She's top 5. Right? She should be top 5. But you start to look at everything she does, and it's like, if you can find a way, which is, if you can find a way around her defenses, it's really not that far-fetched to think she makes a boneheaded play, and all of a sudden, you can get a hit in on her. Big Mom is just so frustrating as a One Piece fan, because she should be better than this. But for me, be honest with you a little bit, I like the gag. Sometimes, right? Sometimes I like just how goofy she is, because Oda has those characters that he can play with, and Big Mom is that for the Yonko. You know, Sanji, characters like that, where it's like, he's a bit more loose, they take a bit more L's, but it's magnified with Big Mom because she is a Yonko of the sea. And, you know, it's trickled down to her crew because they're still at the bottom of the waterfall. They're still there like, all right, we don't know if somebody else is gonna come, so we just gotta be careful. They've been careful for like hours. Like at some point, do you like rub your genie out to, that sounded a bit weird, but that's what he does. Daifuku, rub your genie out to go see what's going on? I don't know, but I mean, when you look at the plot, if Big Mom's crew was in Wano and they were fighting against the Straw Hats, it'd be even more ridiculous for them to be winning, right? So those are my top 5 most controversial characters in One Piece. Again, you made it this far. I appreciate you. Drop a like, turn on the post notifications, all that good stuff, or do what you can, all right? I'm asking for a lot sometimes. Like, yo, nigga, come on, bro. I'm just trying to watch a video and chill. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for supporting. Maybe the this is a bit controversial, but hey, give me your thoughts. I want to know below, who do you think are the most controversial characters in One Piece? I think clearly these characters are. And again, the Whitebeard video is coming if you guys want it. If you guys want the Whitebeard video, I can make it as to why, you know, why you should probably love and hate Whitebeard. Because as much as I love the old man, I have my gripes. Okay, I have my gripes with some of the decisions he made. So yeah, here we are. Make sure to like the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Follow me on Twitter at BragoDA. Follow me on Instagram at BragoD.A. Thank you to my patrons. I appreciate you guys all so much. Again, guys, be sure to like and subscribe. People say I talk too fast sometimes. Like, I'm sorry, I can't help it. But yeah, like and subscribe. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.
I start doubting me, I felt lost. I rewrite it.